Hello, my dear friends. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Today we are going to cover the biomolecules part 2 in the chapter wise MDCAT past paper series. Uh, which type of the protein structure contains the three-dimensional structure MDCAT 2013? Primary, B secondary, C tertiary, D quaternary. So type of protein which contain the three-dimensional structure is the tertiary structure, and the logic behind is that in our body the enzymes are also the in the tertiary structure, and all the enzymes have the three-dimensional structure. Which one of the following combination of statement is true of the saccharides in the living organisms? MDK 2015. They provide energy, they form storage compounds, they form supporting structures. All the saccharides which are present in our body, they can provide energy as oxidation of the glucose provide energy. They form storage compounds as they store in the form of glycogen in the liver inside the animals, and in the form of starch in the plants. They form supporting structures as chitin, which is made up of the saccharides, and cellulose, जैसे सेल वॉल है तो सेल वॉल भी स्टार्च का बना होता है। तो ये तीनों के तीनों प्रोवाइड करते हैं। तो ई ऑप्शन इज द करेक्ट। यस, ई ऑप्शन इज द करेक्ट। The diagram shows a molecule, methyl group is attached to a amino group and carboxyl group. Which substance might include the above molecule? MDK 2015 का क्वेश्चन है। सेल्यूलोज, बी सीरेन, सी ग्लूकोज, डी अलेनिन। किसी भी मॉलिक्यूल के अंदर जब आपको अमाइनो ग्रुप और कार्बोक्सिल ग्रुप मिले तो ये होता है हमारा अमाइनो एसिड। और अमाइनो एसिड में होता है आर ग्रुप, जिसको हम कहते हैं रेडिकल ग्रुप। अगर वहाँ CH3 मिथाइल लगा हुआ है तो वो कहलाएगा अलानिन। अगर हाइड्रोजन लगा है तो ये कहलाएगा ग्लाइसिन। अगर CH2OH ग्रुप लगा है तो ये कहलाएगा सीरीन। तो ये क्या है, मिथाइल ग्रुप लगा हुआ है, ये कहलाएगा एलानिन। The above diagram represents the process of MDK 2017. Hydrolysis, B condensation, D neutralization, C neutralization, D metabolism. यहाँ there is a monomer, two monomers, and they are combining by the removal of one water molecule. तो इस प्रोसेस को हम कहते हैं कंडेंसेशन। कोई भी ऐसा प्रोसेस जिसमें दो मोनोमर्स कंबाइन हो, यानी पॉलीमर बना रहे हो और वाटर मॉलिक्यूल रिलीज हो रहा हो, तो उस प्रोसेस को हम कहते हैं कंडेंसेशन और डिहाइड्रेशन सिंथेसिस। Which of the following process is reverse of the condensation? MDK 2016. Hydrolysis, B dehydration synthesis, C polymerization, D vaporization. The reverse process of condensation is the hydrolysis. In the hydrolysis, a polymer is break down in its monomers, and they use water molecule. As in the condensation, water molecule is used. In hydrolysis, water molecule is released in the condensation, and in the hydrolysis process, which is the reverse of condensation, water molecule used. The movement of cytoplasm is called MDK 2002 as exocytosis, B endocytosis, C plasmolysis, D cyclosis. Movement of cytoplasm is called as cyclosis. D option is the correct. Sugar is stored in the liver as MDK 2003, a starch, B glycogen, C maltose, D cellulose. The sugar is stored in liver in the form of glycogen. The percentage of lipid in the protoplasm is about MDK 2004. 2 to 3%, B 2 to 4%, C 2 to 5%, D 100%. The percentage of lipid in the protoplasm is 2 to 3%. The option is the correct. Guanine always pair with MDCAT 2007, thymine, B adenine, C cytosine, D uracil. Guanine pair with cytosine. C option is the correct. Glycogen is a carbohydrate which is MDK 2006, a monosaccharide, B disaccharide, C polysaccharide, D glycerol. Glycogen is a polysaccharide which is stored in the liver. Formation of mRNA from DNA is called MDK 2007, a translation, B transcription, C genetics, D mutation. The process of formation of mRNA from the DNA is called as transcription. Nitrogen is the ultimate product of MDCAT 2007, a fat, B carbohydrate, C protein, D organic salts. Nitrogen is the ultimate product of protein because nitrogen is present in the amino acid in the form of amino group NH2. An organic compound in which hydrogen and oxygen are present in the same ratio as in the water, MDCAT 2011, a fat, B carbohydrate, C protein, D nucleic acid, E all of the above. Hydrogen and oxygen are present in the same ratio as in the water in the compound called as carbohydrate. Which of the following replaced by thymine, MDK 2008, a uracil, B cytokine, C guanine, D adenosine. Thymine is replaced by uracil in the RNA. In the RNA, there is no thymine. Instead of thymine, there is uracil. In a typical nucleotide, the nitrogen base is attached to dash carbon of the sugar. MDK 2010, 6, A 6th, B 5th, C 4th, D 3rd, E 1st. In the typical nucleotide, nitrogenous base is attached at the first carbon of the pentose sugar. Which of the following is not the part of RNA? MDK 2018, a nitrogenous base, B ribose sugar, C phosphate group, D deoxyribose sugar, E adenine. The molecule which is not part of the RNA is the deoxyribose. It is a part of DNA. Dash is the storage form of carbohydrate in animals and humans, which is equivalent to the dash in the plants. MDK 2019. Storage form of carbohydrate in animals is the glycogen and in the plants is the starch. Which statement correctly describes transcription of DNA? MDK 2020, it produces amino acid, B it produces messenger RNA, C it results in increased DNA synthesis, D it is semi-conservative process. Transcription of DNA produces messenger RNA from the DNA. Which of the following found in both messenger RNA and DNA of the mammalian cell? MDK 2020, a double helical structure, B ribose sugar, C thymine, D sugar phosphate backbone. Sugar phosphate backbone is present in both DNA and RNA of the mammalian cell. Transcription is the process in which an RNA copy of the DNA sequence and coding the gene is produced with the help of enzyme called as MDCAT 2020, a DNA polymerase, B RNA polymerase, C DNA transcriptase, D RNA transcriptase. When RNA is forming from the DNA, it is catalyzed by an enzyme called as RNA polymerase. Or in other words, we simply say that transcription process is catalyzed by RNA polymerase. Which property of the water helps to maintain the integrity of the cell membrane? MDK 2020. A specific heat capacity. B. Hydrogen. C. Cohesion and adhesion. D. Hydrophobic exclusion. Hydrophobic exclusion is the property of water which maintains the integrity of the cell membrane. Water acts as universal solvent because of MDK 2020, a heat of vaporization, B. Hydrogen bonding, C. High polarity, D. Cohesion and adhesion. Water acts as a universal solvent because of its high polarity. Lipids store double amount of energy as compared to carbohydrate because of MDK 2020, a high portion of oxygen, B. High carbon oxygen ratio, C. Low portion of carbon, D. High portion of carbon hydrogen. You have noticed in the lipids that there is a high portion of carbon and hydrogen is compared to the carbohydrates. This is the reason that lipids contain high double amount of energy is compared to carbohydrate. Which of the following is an unsaturated fatty acids? MDK 2020, A. Oleic acid, B. Palmitic acid, C. Butyric acid, D. Acetic acid. Unsaturated fatty acids, the oleic acid. Monosaccharides have a general formula represented by MDK 2020, CnH2n whole bracket n, BCH2O whole bracket n, C2H2O whole bracket n, D CH2O whole bracket n. General formula for the monosaccharides is CnH2ON. NAD is an example of MDK 2020, a mononucleotide, B. Dinucleotide, C. Trinucleotide, D. Tetranucleotide. It is example of dinucleotide and NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Water is the most abundant compound in the living organism. Its amount varies from MDK 2022, 30 to 60%, B. 50 to 60%, C. 10 to 20%, D. 70 to 90%, E. 40 to 50%. Water varies in the living organisms from 70 to 90%. Triose and glycerol is used in the synthesis of MDK 2020, a carbohydrate, B. Protein, C. Lipids, D. Fatty acids, E. Phospholipids. Triose and glycerol are used in the synthesis of fatty acids. Synthesis of disaccharide by the condensation of the two glucose joined by the glycosidic linkage to form MDK 2022. Galactose, B. Lactose, C. Fructose, D. Phosphate, E. maltose. When two glucose molecule condense, they form the maltose. Each chain of DNA is formed by the union of many nucleotides by means of MDK 2022, a double bond, B. Phosphodiester bond, C. Covalent bond, D. Hydrogen bond, E. Single bond. The bond between two nucleotides is the phosphodiester bond. And in the chain of the DNA, the nucleotides are bonded to each other by phosphodiester bond. Which type of protein structure contains the three-dimensional structure? MDK 2013, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary. Tertiary structure contains the three-dimensional structure. The lipid is the most common, abundant, richest source of energy in plant and animal. MDK 2022, a phospholipid, B. Carotenoid, C. Terpenoid, D. Terpenes, E. Acylglycerol. The most abundant and richest source of energy, the form of lipid in plant and animal, is acylglycerol. E option is the correct. Thanks.